Good morning, dolls, and welcome to Little Gretchen's workshop. So today I'm sharing with you some wonderful packages that were waiting for me at my post office box. And it's like Christmas came early, but I honestly feel like all year long you dolls have been showering me with what has felt like Christmas almost every month of this year. And I'm trying not to get emotional, but you dolls have been so thoughtful and so kind. And this is just going to be a quick video for me to share with you some of the things I received. So all these lovely things came from my precious doll named Anna. These are some really nice pieces of leather, some trim, Christmas trim, in all sorts of shades, colors, and patterns. This is so wonderful. You dolls just don't know what these type of things really mean to me because I've been so used to working with scraps and remnants. When I get actual supplies, it really makes it exciting because my mind is just on overload thinking of all the different amazing things that I can make and create. Here's some of that woven fabric that's used for needlework, and then this is another type of woven fabric that can be used for rugs or carpet or blinds and things like that. It's a really nice weight. This is really beautiful. And here's some more woven fabric in like an orange color and a green tone. Really nice heavyweight woven fabric. Can be used for so many different things. My mind is just clicking. And dolls, look at all this lovely lace. This will be perfect for more little girls' dresses. In addition to receiving that wonderful box from Anna, another doll sent me a card. And I was really excited that it was a card and had a lovely note in it from one of my precious dolls, Renee. I really appreciate you, Renee, so much. But in addition to the lovely card, there was some sandpaper, some really wonderful, really super fine sandpaper. I absolutely love when you all share with me hacks and tips and tricks and things about supplies and give me suggestions because although I've been doing miniatures for years, I don't know everything and I'm still open to learn. So I appreciate when you all tell me about things that I'm not familiar with. Thank you, Renee. This is going to go to good use immediately. So dolls, in addition to the other two packages, I got a package from across the water. Nessie Monster Crafts strikes again. This was definitely a surprise. Nessie Monster Crafts is the channel that I did a swap with last month. So Nessie, what are you up to? And this really touches me because Nessie was a subscriber prior to her starting her channel, and we always chatted back and forth in the comments, and it really means a lot to me to be respected among your fellow artists and fellow miniaturists, and YouTube has a wonderful dollhouse community. Let me go ahead and get to the packages before I start crying. I'll have to read the letters off camera because I just don't know how to act. You know, dolls, when you're opening miniatures, you have to be really careful, especially if you don't know what the miniature is, because sometimes if it's something really big and sturdy, you can just kind of snatch it out. But if something's small or you're not sure what it is, you have to be careful so you don't lose anything. And this was exactly the case. I couldn't imagine what was in these wonderful little pieces of tissue paper. And as I looked closely to this little plastic container, I realized that these are buttons. Dolls, these are buttons. These are teeny weeny little buttons. And they're the perfect size for making my dolls. Nessie, come on. This is too sweet. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to have to take these to my studio so you all can see them under the light because this light is not doing these items justice. Then she sent me some pencils and little notepads, little paper notepads, which will be perfect for the children in the rooming house. Oh my gosh, Nessie, you got to be kidding me. What in the world? Look at this. Look at this, dolls. Little bitty pads of paper. Nessie, you have absolutely outdone yourself. I'm really struggling here, dolls. And it's clear she absolutely made these things by hand. There's no way these are mass produced. They're too beautiful. Oh my God. Now for the train. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, I got to get to a better light because you dolls have got to see this better. Okay, so I've got everything carefully on tissue paper. So let me go to my studio. Okay, dolls, I'm here in my studio, and now you can see much better because I really want you to be able to appreciate what I'm looking at. So this is the train. This is absolutely adorable. I promise you, I've never made a doll toy. This is beautiful. She made it out of little pieces of wood and got seed beads for the wheels. This is painted in the primary colors. This is adorable. Nessie, oh my goodness, thank you. The children of the rooming house are really going to appreciate this. And this doll's really, really took me over the top. So she's got the little toy soldiers, but I need you to look at them very closely. They have brown faces. Nessie, I can't even explain to you how much this means to me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And it's so crazy that you gave me these buttons, Nessie, because I've got some more doll videos coming up, and these are going to come in so handy. I just can't believe, one, how small they are, how thin and perfectly scaled they are, and there are actually holes in them, which is, to me, like crazy, crazy. I'm so tickled about these buttons and so grateful. And this has got me totally inspired about my new doll and doll clothes project coming up. And real quick, let me show you dolls what the pencil and notepads look like in this better light. Look how perfect those pencils are, dolls. That is absolutely breathtaking. And look at the little notepad. This will be perfect for the children to make sure they get their lessons done. Speaking of the children, and just like that, it's Christmas Day. The parlor was filled with children and the sound of laughter and giggles in the midst of Tracy pretending her babies are crying and the girls playing with their toys and the real babies actually cooing and crying, the rustle and crackle from the nice warm fire. And this year the boys are fighting over the rocking horse rather than the bike. Little Mabel is so amused she doesn't know what to play with first. And Harper is amusing Tracy by playing with her new dolls. But Harper herself is quite amused with the toy soldiers. After a while, Claude came down to thank Miss Maisie for his baseball bat. His grandmother knew he loved baseball almost as much as he loved reading. Although Claude really liked his baseball bat, he was distracted. Arthur was having a great time with his train and he really didn't want to share. But overall, for the moment, the children were playing nicely, no one was fighting, and everyone was having a really, really great time. I finally realized why Claude seemed distracted. As I watched Claude's gaze, I realized he was staring at Harper. Now, as I mentioned in episode 9, Claude is 13 and a half, but Harper is much older. She's 15. Harper actually hadn't noticed Claude at all, but Claude sure did notice Harper. Arthur continued to monopolize time with the train, as did Joel on the rocking horse. But no one complained because everyone seemed to be amused with what they were playing with at the current time. Although Miss Maisie, Aunt Evelyn, and Miss Fountain were monitoring the children, they called for Grandpa to maintain order. Suddenly, Miguel appeared. The other children were asking him where he was. The other boys laughed at the thought, "You almost missed out on Christmas because of sleep?" As the children played in the parlor, all the married couples were in the dining room dancing to soft Christmas music. Everyone feeling very merry from the night before. Everyone except Albert. Albert was a little bit concerned because Violet wasn't feeling good. She hasn't been feeling good for the last few days, and he was gotten so concerned he asked Aunt Janie to go check on her. He really didn't know what to do. She's been sleeping a lot, and every morning she wakes up with an upset stomach. Aunt Bess was worn out by all the activity, parties, and the grand opening. She went back to the dress shop to go to bed. While the married people were in the dining room, Pop and Miss Betty were in the music room just having quiet, polite conversation. Pop really liked her a lot. Not only was she strikingly beautiful, but she had a very, very sweet, kind, gentle personality. Marguerite and Sadie were allowed to sit in the music room and talk while they exchanged gifts. Sadie finally gave Marguerite the beautiful blue jewelry box he had made. Marguerite thanked Sadie, but she giggled and told him she didn't have any jewelry. He told her it was for things that he would buy her in the future, and then he told her to open the box. When Marguerite opened the box, she realized it was 2 lovely gold rings and a brass key. She understood the rings because she knew it was time for them to be engaged, but she didn't understand the key. Sadie told her that that was to symbolize that she had the key to his heart. Right about the same time on the 2nd floor, Aunt Janie went into the room to check on Violet and ask her about her symptoms. Albert sat nervously at the bottom of the stairs. Right at the same time, Sadi got down on one knee in front of Marguerite. As Pop realized what was happening, he began to call for everyone to come, especially her parents. Although Sadi was nervous, he was not too nervous to tell her how much he loved her. All of a sudden, all the married couples were standing in the hallway and just outside the door to the music room, each couple relishing this moment and remembering what it was like the day that they got engaged. They stood by smiling, hugging one another, still listening to the soft sound of Christmas music in the background. During Sterling's conversation with Sadi the other day, he had given him permission to ask her officially to marry him. He just didn't think he would do it so soon. Sadi had planned to do it New Year's Eve, but he couldn't wait any longer. Just as Marguerite accepted and Sadi was helping her to her feet, he looked at Sterling and asked him if it was okay if he gave Marguerite an engagement hug. Sterling smiled and nodded, and as the couple embraced one another, they had their first kiss officially. As Sterling gently parted the couple, he began to talk to Sadi and Marguerite about what date they wanted to set. He informed Sterling that they had decided on Valentine's Day. At the same time, Aunt Janie stepped into the hallway to let Albert know that he would be a father soon. Albert was speechless. He sat there for a moment and then he stood up and he walked up to Aunt Janie and said, "Me? A dad? A father? I'm going to be a father?" Aunt Janie said yes in about 7 doll months. Now, if you dolls enjoyed this video today, definitely let me know in the comments. Also, like, share, and subscribe. And I'm looking forward to seeing you on the next episode of Little Gretchen's Workshop. Bye-bye now, dolls.